Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Latitude 64 is doing some really cool stuff with plastic lately. Last year, they introduced Project Grip in a special release. Now, if you didn't get a chance to get Project Grip, don't worry. We got a stock release of 3 discs that are coming out July 3rd at 9 a.m. and I'm gonna test them out for you. Let's see how they fly. Let's go. Hey guys, Jeremy from Disc Golf Deals USA. Latitude 64 has this cool project called Project Grip. Now basically what it is it's like 2 different plastics that are sandwiched together, and what they do is they have a nice grippy plastic that's on the top and the bottom with a nice firm plastic around the outside. So basically what that does is it gives you a nice firm structure for the disc on the rim, but incredible grip where your thumb and your fingers go on the bottom. That's supposed to be outstanding. It's supposed to be the best grip out there, whether it's wet or dry. Well, today it's kind of a wet morning. We had some rain last night, so this is gonna be a perfect opportunity to test these out. Now they have 3 discs they're releasing on July 3rd at 9 a.m. They have the Brave, the Rive, and the Grace. These are all 3 incredible drivers, and I can't wait to test them out. All right, let's go. We're gonna start with the fastest disc first and then work our way down. So the numbers on Rive are 13, 5, 0, 3.5. I tested a Rive earlier in the year and it was in like 167 plastic. I really loved it. That thing crushed. All right, this one's a little heavier, 173. So let's see how this one throws. Oh my goodness. Even with a little tailwind, that thing definitely pushed straight. Gotta say, that extra grip, I feel like it really comes off the hand nice and snappy, a little bit more than just your traditional plastics. I'm digging this so far. All right, next up we have the Grace, and man, I love this color right here. Tell me you're not gonna lose that on a course. This thing's fantastic. It almost looks neon. Numbers on a Grace are 11, 6, -1, 2. I have thrown some Graces before, and I gotta say, these things are fantastic. Yes, got a little negative turn to that. Nice, stable finish. Yeah, that thing crushed. Wow, super impressive. And last but not least is a nice little fairway driver called the Brave. I believe this is kind of a new mold for Latitude 64, come out in the last year. 7.6, -1, 2. Basically very similar to a Grace, just a little bit slower. Let's see how this one throws. Oh yeah, definitely way more turn to it. Wow. Pushed a lot further too. That is fantastic. I imagine that is going to be a great disc in the woods. All right, first initial throws. Really love the plastic. These discs are fantastic. Latitude 64 discs, I gotta say, they always feel like they got a little bit extra glide than some discs. Maybe that's in my head, but these all seem pretty glidey. If you've been watching me for a while, you know I really love it when disc golf companies try to do innovative stuff, come out with brand new stuff. Latitude 64, they've dropped the Zero Pro plastic recently. That plastic has got to be one of the probably the best putter plastics I've thrown in a long time. Feels amazing. And now they got this Project Grip plastic, which really is going to give you a little bit extra snap on your shots. And it feels great, even though it's a little bit wet and sticky out here in the summer. I'm still getting nice, clean releases on these so far. All right, first initial throws with these things, fantastic. I would say the Rive probably isn't gonna be for everybody unless you go with like a lighter weight. If you can find like a 167 or even lower gram Rive out there, those things crush, especially for arm speeds like mine or lower. All right, let's do another second throw here. We're just gonna do a nice, try to get it as flat as I can, release on this one. Oh, way low. Wow, look at that glide. Yeah, all right, I'm not perfect. I know a lot of you guys like to nitpick on my releases. That one came out a little bit too low, but did you see, even though I released it like 2 feet off the ground, it just kept going. That's what we call glide. Glide's not a myth. There's definitely discs out there that have really good glide. All right, next up is the Grace. Yeah, getting really good turn out of that. And then here's that stability. Yeah, that thing crushes. Grace is really like a destroyer type disc, but it's almost like an everyday man's destroyer. That thing just flies nice and straight. Doesn't have a lot of turn. It's going to be able to hold up to some headwind too. Nice, reliable finish. Wonderful disc. All right, and then the Brave. This one definitely does have some flip to it. I might actually put this on a little bit of a hyzer, see if we can get a little flip up, because it was a little flippier than I thought on the first throw. Yes, flipped up to flat, pushing straight, reliable finish. I love discs like that. I gotta say, this Project Grip is great. I'm feeling like I'm getting just a little bit extra snap, which usually means you're gonna get a little bit extra speed out of it. And who doesn't need a little bit more speed? All right, these are performing great on backhand, but how do they perform on forehand? Well, let's give it a shot. All right, if you're like me, whenever your discs get a little bit wet, you kind of abandon doing a forehand, just because forehand is one of those shots that's really dependent on having that connection just right. And anytime it gets just a little bit slippy right here, it just throws off the forehand and it kind of goes wherever. But gotta say, this Project Grip, even though this is a little bit damp, we had a ton of rain, grass is super wet, I still feel like I have a really good connection right here. So this could be another good advantage to having a Project Grip disc in your hand. So let's try some forehands with these. First up is the Rive. We're gonna run right at that basket there. Definitely gonna start this to the left because it is pretty stable. Oh, you're just gonna go in the basket? Skip in. Holy cow. Wow. If that didn't prove my point right there, that is fantastic. Definitely been some rounds that I've had where it's gotten wet, it's rained, and I just had to abandon the forehand because it wasn't reliable. This Project Grip might be the cure for that. Now let's go with the Grace. Skip in. Come on, skip. Holy cow. All right, park job, bullseye right there. What a fantastic disc. I have been getting some good turn out of this Brave, so might even aim just a touch to the right. There we go. Oh, dead straight disc. A lot of turn. Holy cow, that thing went forever. Project Grip on a forehand? I'm a big believer. These things rock. All right, guys, there's definitely something to this Project Grip plastic. If you guys are a big fan of the Rive, the Grace, or the Brave, you definitely need to pick one of these up. These things are fantastic. Now, stay tuned. I got some bonus coverage of some other Lat 64 discs I'd like to test out real quick. We got the Core, we got the Trident, and we got a new cool putter called the Spike. So let's try those out. All right, thanks for tuning in to bonus coverage. Got the Trident here. Numbers on this are 6.4, -0.5, +3. Seems like a really cool, kind of like a mixture between a fairway driver and a mid-range with some really good stability. Let's see how this thing throws. Oh, wow. Okay, that definitely went a lot straighter than I thought. Good, reliable finish. That's a great little disc. Can't wait to try it on a forehand, which we're going to do up here in a second. All right, now next up is the Core. This is a mid-range I've heard a lot of people talk about. It's a great neutral flying mid-range. Doesn't have a bead on it. Feels really comfortable in the hand. Pretty low profile. Let's see how this one flies. Numbers are 6.5, -0.51. Oh my goodness. Is that like the best flying mid-range ever? Now, those of you who've been watching me for a really long time, you guys know one of my favorite out of production discs is the Gobi. Gobi's a 6-speed disc. Sometimes it's labeled as a 5, but nice low profile, goes really far and really straight, but it's out of production. This Core might actually be the next best thing to that. I'm digging it. Okay, and then last but not least, this is a Spike. Now, it's cool because it's got these nice little texture pads right here. There's one here, one here. If you don't like that, you just rotate a little bit and then you got a nice smooth surface. But I kind of like that texture part right there. Feels good under the thumb. Numbers on this are 4.3, -1.1. Let's see how this one throws. Okay, yeah, definitely more flippy than I thought, but wow. 3 fantastic discs. We're gonna do one more throw with these and then we're gonna close this out. Trident, I believe, is gonna be a really good forehand disc, so let's try it. Wow, that Trident definitely is a lot straighter than I anticipated. Wow, what a great disc. Trust me, it's a little straighter than what the numbers might tell you. Now the core, like I said, this is giving me Gobi vibes. Gobi, I would just be able to run straight at this guy, ace run line. Let's do it. Oh, great flip. Do we have the stability to come back? Yeah, let's go. It's been a long time since I found a disc that was able to rival the Gobi. This core might be it. In fact, maybe I need to do a core versus Gobi video. Let me know if you want to see that. Last but not least, we got the nice little spike here with the cool texture pads. Oh, well, there you have it. Well, even though that spike is kind of unstable, I'm really digging those texture pads on it. It might be a really good flip up to flat throwing 4-speed, which is fantastic. All right, guys, Lat 64 doing some really good work lately. First off, the Zero Pro plastic that came out last week, really digging it. If you guys haven't checked it out, should definitely check it out. I got a video on it up here if you want to see the releases of those. But Project Grip, I did a video on this one last year. If you want to check it out, it's up here too. But now they got 3 new discs. These are stock releases too that everybody can get. You don't have to order it directly from the manufacturer. You can get these on at Disc Golf Deals USA. The Rive, the Grace, and the Brave. These are all fantastic. If you want something overstable, definitely go with the Rive. If you want something a little straighter, Grace and the Brave are definitely fantastic. And like I said, if you struggle with like forehand grip issues, these things were definitely money. We had a nice wet morning here and I didn't deal with any of those grip issues at all. And then we also have the core, the Trident, and the spike. These things are really cool too. I love how the core and the Trident are 6-speed discs, but they look so much different from each other. Core is definitely giving me Gobi vibes, which is one of my all-time favorite mid-ranges, which is out of production, which was manufactured by Latitude 64. So I'm definitely gonna have to do a head-to-head. Let me know if you wanna see that. And this spike, yeah, super cool disc. Definitely a little bit more understable than what the numbers would say. But if you like those texture pads that Latitude 64 is kind of known for on the top, you might wanna check this out. All right, guys, if you're looking to get any of these discs, head on over to Disc Golf Deals USA. Till I see you next time, peace out.